So Anova is the women's shelter and the sexual assault center for London and Middlesex County. And that means that we provide shelter for women and children who are in abusive or violent situations. And we also provide counseling, support, and a crisis line for anybody experiencing any form of violence. And those two forms of the service continue in spite of COVID. Things have changed. So our counseling is now done online and via Zoom. And we have a few new shelter protocols in place, but do not hesitate to reach out to Anova if you're experiencing any form of violence in your life. And our crisis line, where you can access all of our services through that, is 519-642-3000. So 519-642-3000. I think it's important for Londoners to know, though, that the research tells us that we're about to see a really big increase in domestic violence. Why do we know that? Well, we know that when, from about a dozen or so years of coroner inquest reports, that when there's increased social isolation, when a perpetrator has a significant job loss or income loss, when there's a significant change in mental health status for them, and when there's a decrease in social supports, we know that there's a direct link between those indicators and increased violence. So we're anticipating increased violence. And what's really hard at this point is that we're also trying to manage that when everybody's even more isolated in their homes and may not have access to reaching out. So if there is ever a time to check in on the people in your life that you kind of ever wondered, I don't know, that relationship felt a little bit unhealthy to me, I don't know, that now would be the time to give them a text and say, how are you doing? How's your partner managing the isolation right now? Do you need anything? And doing that checking in often. It's also a great idea to refer them to our crisis line, and you can chat through more in the support context on that crisis line, or you can access direct services if need be. Finally, we do see an increase in our services coming at us very soon because of that increase in violence. And we also see a decrease in the money that we really relied on from our fundraising campaigns and fundraising campaigns that others put on for us. So we have a gap in our funding. So it's really, really important, if you can, to donate some money right now. That money goes directly to feeding the women and kids in shelter. That goes directly to supporting survivors on our counseling and crisis team. So on any of our social media accounts at Anova, you can find a link that will get you to our donate.